Snoop Dogg, and you're about to see the best sports and entertainment talk show on the internet with your host, Troy Geary. The man who seems to go to every sporting event, and Dave Stevens, born without legs, but won 7 Emmys and played college football and minor league baseball. Throw in Will Stein wherever Will Stein is, and you've got a heck of a show. It's the Geary, Stein, and Stevens Show. Faux shizzle.
All right, welcome back to Radio Row as we amp up our coverage for today. And I think I just ran into who I think might be the biggest Philadelphia Eagles fan of all time, or just generally all sports since he grew up in that area. Kevin Negandhi from ESPN, Sports Center, and all of the college football and everything, literally 10 feet away from me, or I'd be over there hugging you. Kevin, welcome to New Orleans. What are you here for?
Dave, it's great to see you. I don't know. There's some football game on Sunday that I was told that's pretty important. So happy to represent ESPN. And we're going to be live Sports Center later on today and Friday. And it's just great to talk about the birds.
Well, let's talk about the birds and your family. I mean, it's pretty cool when the teams that you love, because I'm a Vikings fan, so I wouldn't know about that. But getting to the Super Bowl, and again, look at the smile on your beautiful family and your wife and everything. I mean, it had to be a special treat.
Yeah, so we were at the Packers playoff game. We were in Arizona a couple of years ago when they faced the Chiefs in Super Bowl 57. I've raised some fanatics in Connecticut. That was my goal, making sure that they understood that while they grew up in the state of Connecticut, we weren't going to be, Giants, Jets, or Patriots fans. So we stayed Eagles. God bless my wife. She's from Florida, so she got sucked into the cult that we are in Philadelphia, and we have fun. And we're pretty excited, the whole family.
And, I'm not going to talk X's and O's with you right now. I'm curious, how did you meet your wife?
TV. My wife actually was in TV. She was a reporter, and I was the sports director in the ABC affiliate in Sarasota, Florida. And she had walked in, and I had just met her. And there was a mutual friend that we had that was part of the conversation, and she walked away, and I looked at my buddy, and I was like, I'm going to marry her. And he's like, what? I was like, that's the woman I know I'm going to marry. He goes, you just met her. I said, I know it. I know it. And we started dating a few months later, and then literally a year later, I got the job at ESPN, and she came a year later, and she was working in Hartford at the NBC affiliate. And listen, when you're in TV, it's hard to explain the life you live and what you do, and you often see a lot of relationships forming in a newsroom because we work crazy hours and we're built a little bit differently. We're not normal people.
A lot like the Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift couple. Like you guys were a power couple, and she gave up her career for you.
She went into something else. I mean, she could have kept on going. We talked about it, but she didn't want to do it anymore. She did local TV, and again at that NBC affiliate in Connecticut for 7 years, and now she works at a children's hospital, and she's making a bigger impact, and she loves what she does.
Excellent. And I love watching you guys everywhere. And what a treat for your kids. And I know my kids kind of get to experience. We get to let our families experience some things that other people might take for granted on the outside world.
Yeah, and we talk about that all the time. Like, we don't live a normal life. And we give them perspective. We make sure they understand, hey, this isn't normal. Like, don't expect this. Like, this doesn't happen. But, the cool thing is, the job takes you on the road. It takes you away from the house. It takes you away from the miss events. There have been a handful of stuff where I'm on my phone watching my sons play a game or baseball, football, or basketball. I'm working. So this is the payback on the other end where I could take them to events like the Little League World Series, taking them to the Super Bowl 2 years ago. And they're at an age now where, they can appreciate it. They understand it. They walk around, they're like, hey, take them to the Rose Bowl, the Rose Parade. So I'm just very lucky that I can do it. And if it works with their school schedule and mama's happy, then we'll try to figure it out.
How cool has it been to become a Chris Berman type, a Stuart Scott type? And again, given your nationality, there's not a lot of your guys in your history that have been out there. So you're kind of like this Jackie Robinson of your culture.
I appreciate you saying that, Dave. It's a little wild. I grew up watching Boomer, Chris Berman, and the Bob Lees and Stuart Scott, and to work with those guys, call them friends. To be the first Indian American on a national level on sports network. I take that with great pride and responsibility. And then you see the development, like you see the Anish Shroffs, you see the Adam Amines, you see the Zubin Mehentes, the Nabil Kareems, like Adnan Burks. You see these guys also elevate. It makes me proud. Like, listen, if given the opportunity, we will do our best to succeed and outwork everybody. And we're like everybody else. We're passionate sports fans, and we also know that we have an audience to entertain and educate. And that's what we continue to do. So I'm proud to be affiliated with the people that you mentioned, that I mentioned. I can't put myself in the same breath as a guy like Chris Berman, because we all know he's the pioneer. He's the one that changed cable television with his presence and what he did, starting with ESPN in 1979, him and Bob Lee and Tom Meeks.
Well, I'm not going to ask you for a prediction, but you can see you have fun. You get to have these guys in studio from time to time. And how cool is it to get to know the team that you care so much passionately about?
It's great. I will say that I'm pretty critical of the team too. So sometimes I'll call the team out. Like I don't just go with blind eyes. Like I don't just go in and just say, hey, they're the greatest thing and you can't say anything different. I also still have a job, right? I don't want to insult the audience. I'm going to be critical if there's a mistake. I'm going to call the team out. And I have. And I know that's rubbed some people the wrong way. But that to me is staying true to myself. It's also, I think fans appreciate that no matter what, you're not going in just saying rah, rah, rah. You're also going in by saying, hey, this has to happen, how come this hasn't happened? You'll be critical of the team. So I'm actually more critical on the air of the team that I follow than I would be with another team, just because I know all the inside things about the team. And you know that you watch them all the time. You know what they're supposed to be. So I don't know, like, it's fun, it's great, but at the same time, like I don't think people understand that I'm not just, hey, here's my pom-poms. If there's a mistake, I'll call them out on it.
Just pop it over my shoulder. Well, Troy is here for a second. He wanted to ask you a quick question. Troy?
All right, hey Kevin, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Talking with Kenny Mayne last night, we were talking about all the iconic Sports Center commercials. What is your favorite one that you have?
The one that I was in, or
no, either the one he was in or the one that you just like the best?
Oh man, there's a lot of good ones. The Jay Harris one, because of its simplicity, was phenomenal. When he opens the elevator and the devil's right there.
Yeah, we talked to Jay
going
about
up,
that. That's one of my favorites.
And then he steps out. I think the simplicity of that is fantastic. Anything with Charlie Steiner are all timers. The 2K one, right?
Yeah.
Follow me to freedom. I thought that was great. Like I'm the old school one. Like the stuff that I grew up with that I loved back in the day. The one that I was in that I loved was it was like a fantasy anchor draft, and I was one of the top 2 picks, and I'm actually walking away. They pick me. And I literally fall right then and there. We had to do like multiple takes for it. You don't see me, but I fall. There's like a mat there, and I had to do like 4 or 5 takes on it just to nail falling down, right? And I'll never forget the final take. They're like, do it one more time, and I missed the mat and I hit the concrete. And they used that take, and because the reaction when you watch, Jimmy Graham's the one who drafted me, and Victor Cruz is in the room as well. When they actually do it, and they show it on the air, you see that take, and their reaction is like, "Ooh," because that's their real reaction. Because I hit the ground really hard, busted my hip. And then that night we went to the Emmys we were nominated, Hannah and I, for SportsCenter, and I'll never forget, I had a bruise that went down my leg for a full 3 months. but it was worth it.
Did we get OSHA? Did OSHA get involved in that one?
No one got involved.
I got one more. Now that you
Sure.
mentioned Hannah Storm, she got honored Pat Summerall Award.
Yes.
Just talk about you were working with her and the significance of that award, as you know.
So I'm proud to say that, by the way, congratulations, Hannah. I'm proud to say that I worked with Hannah for 5 years in the Women's Sports Center from 2010 to 2015. And she's a legend, man. Like, when that red light's on, she's magic. And I saw it many, many times, 3 hours a day, breaking news. So it was great for me. Like, I grew up watching Hannah on NBA on NBC. She was a legend back then. And I love her. You know, we host the Rose Parade together. We're hosting next Monday. We're doing Sports Center together the day after the Super Bowl. She's the best, man. And just happy to call her a dear friend.
That's awesome. We love watching her. It's great to see people near our ages still in this business and not being phased out. And that's based on talent and what you guys bring to the plate. And I gotta make fun of you for a second because back in the Phillies World Series year, I took my son Brady to cover that game. So here we are, game 1 of the World Series on the field, and the skies open up and it just pours, right? But I had a commitment to be at the Jimmy V dinner that next night. So I left my then 18-year-old son at the World Series all alone. I lost my daddy moment of being able to see that. Yeah. My son calls me on the phone and says, "Dad, I'm standing next to the commissioner and Derek Jeter and all these people," and I'm just going, "Boo." But you were able to be a part of that as well and see the one victory, the two I think that they got that year. Yeah. So how about the Phillies? What do you think they're going to be like?
Well, listen, when you talk about what the Mets have done, they got Alonso back and they got Soto. It's going to be tough sledding for this Phillies team because they didn't make a lot of changes to their lineup, and they needed some help. I think, especially because this is not about the first 6 months of the year of the season. It's about October and where this lineup is. Or can you get guys that can extend at bats, and that was the problem, man. That's the Philly scouting report is out. We're going to swing at everything you throw at them, and unfortunately, it's worked against them in the postseason the last couple of years. So we got to deal with the Dodgers. If the Braves are healthy, and the Mets, it's going to be tough sledding. I haven't gotten there yet because we're still in this Eagles kind of daze. We'll get there. We'll get there in like. We'll open up a training camp in March and see like where we're at, and hopefully Bryce and company, they got one more magical runner.
Well, do you think President Trump might be able to sell the Liberty Bell to get the Phillies some more money so they could compete with the Dodgers?
It's crazy. The deferred money is insane, Dave. Like the way the Dodgers spend that money, I mean, eventually the tab's going to come, right? And you got to pay that check that you keep on kicking the can down the road. But what the Dodgers are doing, it's like what the Yankees did for many, many years. And it's weird to see. But listen, every year, it's not always the team that spends the most money. It's the team that gets magic in October that's helping us.
All right. Well, I would ask a prediction, but I already know what your prediction is going to be. So I'm going to turn the tables and put you on the spot. Your greatest anchor, reporter moment, fanboy moment that you got to be a part of in your entire career?
Wow. Probably when the Eagles won the Super Bowl in 2018 and I got to host the parade on ESPN. Like a parade. You get to host an Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl parade. That to me is my greatest moment. Like I grew up watching the Eagles. I grew up loving the Eagles. And then I could be on ESPN talking about the city of Philadelphia, celebrating an Eagles Super Bowl. I think that's what every kid dreams about when they get in this business.
Well, I'm going to give you something that you're going to need while you're at the Super Bowl in case your cell phone dies.
Thank you.
Courtesy of Serendipity Yachts and Cruises, again, one of our sponsors. That's a great cell phone charger. It's been the hottest item. So
nice.
Not giving you a hat, not a crappy T-shirt. Thanks to Kelly Williams and the Kelly Williams Show and Serendipity. yachts and cruises. Are you going to get to have any fun this week, or is it all business?
No, I'll have some fun. We'll have fun tonight after the Sports Center. I'll have fun on Friday, and then I'm back home. I'm not staying for the game. I'm going to watch with my kids. To me, watching the games, that's how I fell in love with football. That's how I fell in love with sports. Family. I'm going to be watching with my family, and I can't wait. Hopefully Sunday we'll celebrate.
Bristol gets a bad rap. What's the best place in Bristol to eat?
Oh, wow. Oh.
Bristol's watching, so.
I'm going to say Nishan's place, and it's not in Bristol. It's about like 10 minutes away. He's got a place over at a golf course, and Nishan used to be a chef at ESPN. Then he started his own place, and I love what he does. So I would say Nishan's restaurant on a golf course. I think it's like the something Eagle golf course in Plainville.
In Plainville, that's where my kids live. And of course, you got up the street Cava. Have you been to that Cava?
Been to Cava many times.
Make sure you bring $400 or $500 if you're going to have an entree there. But Kevin, it's always great to catch up with you and see you. And we've been chasing you down for a couple of years. I'm glad our schedules work. You had to come on. You had no choice.
Love it.
And
it's great to see you.
It is. And it really, I think there are more ex-ESPN employees here than current employees at ESPN here. So
I'm current one.
Yeah.
So,
I hope it stays that way for a while,
Me
too.
too.
All right. Kevin Negandhi joining us. You're watching Geary, Stein, and Stevens in the morning. We've got some other guests. We've got our friends from the Taste of the NFL. Chef Andrew Zimmern is coming on to talk about that great fundraising event. Quickly, how can people, I know you do a lot of social media, give people where they can follow you and watch you.
Whether it's on Instagram or Twitter or X, it's Kevin Negandhi. And then the H is tricky, so watch that way you spell it. And then TikTok, I think it's Kevin.Negandhi. So, and then Sports Center tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern time, we'll be live from New Orleans.
All right. Watch it, listen, continue to support ESPN. I'm not there anymore, but I still love you guys. So thanks a lot, Kevin.
We miss you.
All right. Kevin Negandhi joining us on Radio Row. I got to pay a couple of bills. We'll be back right after this. Geary, Stein, and Stevens
wants you to come party with us. We're bringing the fun to the Houston Bay Area. Stay tuned for all of our incredible events throughout the year, featuring amazing food and drinks, live entertainment, special guests, and so much more. Fun, new, different. Serendipity Yacht Cruises and Events is where you want to be. So come party with us. It's more than a yacht. It's serendipity. Introducing the world's first temporary airbrush tattoo kiosk, iTattoo, bringing wearable, shareable temporary body art to live events. iTattoo stands for Interactive Temporary Airbrush Tattoo Unit. The team is raising additional capital for this incredible iTattoo concept, putting ink on skin at scale. I'll say it again, folks, ink on skin at scale. This will be the coolest addition to any event, and imagine the reactions when you add body art to the mix. Cool kiosks for a large venue or event. And it's super sponsorable. If you or anyone is interested in talking about the cap raise or the unit itself, please reach out to Nathan or Chris at itattoo.life.
Hi, my name is Shaquille Duggar, and I'm the CEO and founder of Pi. My passion is and always has been helping people. That's why I created Pi. I wanted to devise solutions that would make it easier for businesses to become more efficient and effective to drive profitability, while at the same time helping the customers they serve. Our newest self-service solution is a perfect example of that collaboration. Business leaders told us they wanted a smaller alternative to the larger freestanding kiosks they already love, and we delivered with our newest product. A countertop device we call Eclair introduces space-saving, compactness, versatility, and convenience. When it comes to our self-service solutions industry specifically, we put considerable stock in a quote from Alan Key. People who are really serious about software should make their own hardware. That's Pi in a nutshell. To ensure we produce the best self-service options, we do it all, designing and developing our own hardware and software. The bulk of our business involves the food industry, catering to an evolving industry with technology that is ever evolving itself. Our customers aren't necessarily in traditional restaurant locations. They're in malls, food trucks, and pop-up stands. Additionally, we perform considerable research of consumer trends and behaviors, trying to forecast what they will want and need as it relates to self-service in the short and long term. It's challenging, but exciting and satisfying work. Visiting the restaurant of one of our partners and seeing customers effortlessly order and pay for food through a Pi kiosk puts a huge smile on my face. And it fuels to do more to further enhance their experience. Our latest kiosk designs are reflective of what we've learned, observed, and anticipated. We are designing attractive enclosures that make our kiosks hard to pass by. We're developing and installing intuitive software that's easy to use, and we're incorporating curved high-definition touchscreens that enhance visual quality. At Pi, our ultimate objective is to bring a personal approach to self-service solutions that also display our creativity and ability to devise great products. I introduce to you Pi's newest product, Eclair. Welcome to Pi.